Well. Happy Sunday to all of you gents and ladies, if ladies will watch today. James Brew, evening to you. It's a little early today. You guys are in the same neck of the woods, Mr. Jeremy Bailey. All is well today. Had some fires in the in the air, so the air quality kind of sucks, but I still managed to get a ride in, so I'm happy about that. Freddy Krueger in the house. Greetings from Elm Street. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope all has great things transpired this weekend. You worked on yourself. You enjoyed good food, good company. The little things, the minimalistic things that makes men happy, which is really not much if you think about it. Turkey sandwich with Swiss, some kettle chips, maybe a brew, maybe a soda pop, maybe some dessert. Nothing wrong with that. Good show. I don't know if you guys caught the Olympics. Wasn't a huge fan, and Lux Boss is here. Good to have you, brother. Didn't watch a lot of the Olympics. Too much politicizing, but did manage to watch the last half of the marathon. 26.2 miles. Those guys are hauling ass. I mean, come on. Let's be legit. 2 hours and 10 minutes. They're just hauling ass. I mean, talk about massive amounts of mental preparation, physical endurance. It's crazy. But anyhow, great. Jawar's in the house. How did you feel at 16 when hair started thinning? Wasn't happy about it, Jawara. And but look, you're what? You're late 30s or early 40s. You're fine. Nobody cares anymore. The dreads look great, but you look badass with the shaved head as well. But yeah, when you're young, it kind of sucks. You're like, why is my hair falling out? I remember met a guy that was 19 and he was full head of hair. All he had was the cul-de-sac in the back. He looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. At 19, he got a hairpiece. Looked kind of funny. But anyhow, there you go. Teddy Boy Smith in the house. Good to have you again. Timmy Kramer. Woke up this AM, realized I'm single and never married. Thank you, God. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, hanging out in San Diego. Bald is sexy, Jawara. Trust me on this one. Cesar, all the way from Venice. Lisa Smith, hey Rad, all the way from Kansas City. So I wanted to do this Sunday sermon. Trusting her words can potentially destroy you. What does destroy mean? It could mean multiple things. Financially, emotionally, mentally, and potentially physically. If you think about it, remember, actions are more important than words. It's not what she says, it's what she does. Kurt Shamrock, can it really destroy you? Ask a lot of the guys that have been through it. There's many, 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 many guys that are either financially destroyed, that believe they're ladies, or emotionally destroyed, or mentally destroyed, or potentially, as I have friends that have taken themselves off this mortal coil. You have to be very, very vigilant on what they say, because what women say, and I'm saying 98%, given a 1% to 2% delta, 98% that I don't recommend, I would not trust their words. If I trusted their words and I put my confidence in the palm of their hand, I could potentially be destroyed financially, mentally, emotionally, or physically. Right? Chris F. Sup, Rad? Good to see you. Hello, Rad. Remain bachelor. Ooh, I like that. Kurt Shamrock, I don't think I can ever love a woman, though. Love is different for both sexes. Let's be real about that. I mean, I really can't love anybody. I just think love has been completely bamboozled in life, and it's been taken out of context. I think men have a stronger bond to love because we're more logical in it. Hey, we really like this person. She makes us feel good. Logic says, ooh, I'm feeling great feelings. Now, a woman would say, oh, I like how I feel in this moment. Now, love is literally a kaleidoscope with women. And it doesn't, it's not the same. And that's what you have to realize. And guys, I talk to lots of guys during the week, emails, phone calls, and it's basically, we all have the same story. We love this woman, and look what happened. She monkey branched. She left us for another guy. She cheated on us. She's divorcing us. She's unhappy. We're too controlling. And it goes back to the sense that we need to understand how to navigate life with women and females in it. Give a woman all of your heart, and for 98% of them, you're going to suffer. Well said, Kurt, after learning the truth. Well, it's the experience you go through. I didn't learn any truth. I had to experience it, right? One day, my wife at the time said, I'm unhappy. I don't love you. Never did. I love you because you're the father of my kids, but I've never loved you. But great. I learned it. Experience. They just want your attention and validation. They don't want you for you. Well said, Freddie. I can't ever love a woman again. I don't believe in love. That might be too harsh, but I don't believe in it. It's just chemicals. They're chemicals that you feel when you're going to eat a wonderful burger at Red Robin, right? Or watch a really cool movie or accomplish something great. They're the same exact chemicals, biologically proven. Rick, Lou, salute to the rad soldiers checking in. Thank you for being here. So let's get to this. A female friend of mine used me when it suited her and gave nothing in return. Things got complicated in the end, and she turned on me and was ruthless, so cold. It was a lesson I needed to learn. I don't think that's any different than a lot of guys that have experienced in this life, Teddy. Relentless man is in the house. Salute to you. It's keeping them from getting bored, which I can entertain at all. I just think it's very difficult. If you really want a woman engaged in you and excited about your life, you better know that that'll be very, very short-lived. It's emotionally based. Women are emotional. Men are logical. Men say, hey, I had a great time on Saturday. We went to the paddleboard area. We had a fun time. We had great conversation, and we say, great. And then the next time we hang out, it's going to be like that or even better. Well, a woman has a great time, but that can all shift within the hour that you left her, or dropped her off till the next time, and she ain't into you anymore. That's an emotional brain. That's a brain that is not like the man brain. Although there's a lot more emotional men now due to the soy boy world that we live in. The kid is in the house when she says it's the best sex ever. Yeah, no, it's not. I would agree with that. Thank you for being here. The kids suck cesspool endeavors. Men love idealistically. Women love opportunistically. And I think that's very well said. Women love the opportunistic potential of the man. When the opportunities leave, so does the so-called love that they have. Good to have you, Successful. What is love? I don't know. There's been so many songs and books and therapies written about it. Love is just something that Hallmark and Lifetime and the De Beer Diamond Mine put to label a connection between man and a woman. You get to my age and you just realize, hey, you experience some great butterflies and dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. That's it. Wait till it wears off. Timmy Kramer 2000 programming has made women never happy in today's society. He can try and never win the game. Well said. The hoops. Well, the goalposts keep moving, right, Timmy? Whatever it's funny. Some of these guys will do everything on the first date. They'll show up in a limo, 3-piece suit, 48 roses, take her to the $300 per plate dinner. What's the next act? She's already gotten everything. What does Greg Adams says? He'll take her to the Subway after 3 or 4 throws in the hay. So you have to be very, very careful. The more you give, the less you get. right? Rad, you should check out Courtney Ryan on YouTube. She's an advocate for men, has some decent content, and shoots it straight on modern day relationships and women. 90% of her content I agree with. Mr. Drummer Live in the house. Ben in the house. I'll check it out, brother. Sounds good. The attachment is what we feel. Freddy Krueger, it's infatuation as well. Guys, we're biologically programmed to lie with women. We've turned that into something, monogamy and marriage and everything. But if you go back to the caveman times, there was no such thing as monogamy. It was extending the human race through as many broads as you could that were fertile and young. Stream 36 hours a week across 5 channels. Like, oh, I don't know how he does that, man. I do not know how he does it, but I love his stuff. Dopamine dumps are a powerful hormonal urge. The brain always goes back to base level. When you're liking it, you're enjoying each other's company, great. But don't build a foundation on that original burst of dopamine. That is going to let you down. Understand dopamine, what it is. It is a reward center for your brain. You like someone, you kiss someone, you're having fun, there's connection, there's touch. Great. But your brain is going to go back to base level. But men trust the words. We trust the fact, oh, she's in love with us. There's no one better out there than us. And we trust it and believe it. And then what happens in 3 to 6 months? The communication goes away. She begins to look for other opportunities. She's now not available when you guys used to hang out. And then guys get hurt. And it destroys them. They gave them everything, only to be let down in the end. And so this channel is not about saying that they're bad people. It's a fact that it's understanding how to live in a coexistence with women. You either choose to allow them into your life and let them through the gate, or you don't. And if you do allow them in the gate, how are you going to allow them to exist within your little world? Rad, my ex-wife did the same thing to me. Thankfully, I'm out of the plantation without kids. Ooh. You, my friend, you dodged some bullets, my man. Good for you. Now you work on yourself. Love is an overgeneralized word and is used flippantly. Correct. Correcto mundo. I don't invest in fells, emotions, and even actions today. Feelings are feelings. Feelings are part of the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and also other cortisol and all that crap. Whether it's positive or negative. That's all it is. It's a feeling. Understand what a feeling is. You're feeling great in this moment. You know, we have to retrain ourselves. It feels great right now, but that feeling has the potential and most likely will not be the same feeling the next time you're hanging out. There are some good girls out there, rare ones. Do you agree? Ads? Yes, I do. I give it a 1 to 2% of women out there are good women. Some might not agree with me, but 98% are not recommended. I didn't say they're bad. I said they're not recommended for Rad. Rubbish, Kumar, if her lips move, don't trust her. I always believed my wife, and then I had to go back and study some of the experiences I had, and I realized, you know what? They weren't real. Those were she wasn't telling the truth in those times. And it goes back from dating times. So you're right, Rubbish. Adam agrees with your title. He was totally screwed when he listened to Eve that time. Max Yee. Thank you, brother. Good to have you. Where are you from, Max? Adam was bamboozled. Well, he was, how about conditioned by Eve? I heard my first Simp song the other day in a long time. It was so embarrassing, says Kurt Shamrock. Yeah, you know, when you start hearing music that puts her on this pedestal and the guys will do anything, you really start to pick up on things now, right? Watch women and couples when they go out. Watch where the man exists in the you know, and with the woman. Is he walking in front? Is he walking in back? Is she leaning into him? Is she leaning outside of him? It's very interesting when you start watching the signs, whether it's in music, television, even in person. It was like, I die for you. I die for you. Is that a Prince song? Shab, just have a good time with the girl and send her away. Create space, let her chase you, and she will always come back. Attraction grows in space. Don't give them attention. Well, I would agree with that situation. I would agree with that. I believe that attraction, I go, listen, scarcity creates value. That was probably one of the biggest red pill issues that I learned. And even with the wife being around her all the time, that didn't create value. So you're right. Scarcity creates value, unless you're mature enough to be cool with each other and be friendly. As Socrates said, love is a mental illness. Love is a mental illness for 300 Trebek. Correct. I have accepted at 50 years of age, I'd rather have a good, neat dump than to be in love and be in an LTR with a fellow remain bachelor. You just focus on yourself. If being with yourself is more important and brings more peace, have at it. Nothing wrong with that, brother. Mysterio in the house, all the man has to do is keep her talking. That will expose her nature over time, good or bad. Good or bad, Mr. Mysterio. Imagine if aliens invaded our planet and demand to speak to our leader, and we present creepy Joe Biden. Creepy Joe Biden for 300 Trebek. What would they say to him? They'd probably look at him and be like, be gone. They'd do the be gone thought, but it would be with Biden. My husband was military police when I met him. The military police motto is, in God we trust, all others are suspect. Lisa Smith, love it. You know, and it goes both ways, right? Trust goes both ways. Listening to words versus action also applies to men, and it applies to women. Watch their actions. Does this person, what do they do for you? What do they bring to the table? Does she cook for you? Does she want to hang out with you? Does she potentially scratch your back? Does she respect you? Does she want to see you? Does she make a commitment to set something up? These are the things you look for. Actions. Who is the leader of the free world? You know who it is? I don't think it's in this country. I think it's over in a country that, well, let's just say they drink a lot of vodka. Remain bachelor, SOC. SOC. If a woman really enjoyed your company and wanted to stay over all the time, what would you do? I don't like being mean to people. It's my biggest weakness. Sadly, women my age are so desperate. Now, you know, you need space. You need to hang out when you feel you want to hang out. Do your thing. She does her thing. But if she wants to hang out with you a lot, there's nothing wrong with that. It means she likes you. Chris Keller, hey, Rad, glad I found your channel. Hey, I'm glad you're here, Chris. I don't know if you've been here before, but if you haven't, let me know where you guys are. Socrates was right. Love is a mental illness. You know, that's a very interesting concept. Love is a mental illness. Yes, it makes people mental. It makes people crazy. It makes people do things they would never have done. So I would agree, mental illness. Freddy Krueger, one time I had a SCX with a single mother. After I came, I wanted to get away from her. I'm sure you're not alone. The music industry would take such a hit if people had that mindset. I would agree. Listen to Tool, or I don't know, Mysterio. Ask Mysterio who he thinks red pill music is. A lot of them are not even virgins and live a promiscuous lifestyle, and you can see them walking outside with their prideful ass outside. I don't understand it. Well, it's all attention, AJ. Good to have you here. It's all attention and validation. That's how they get attention and validation out. What is a soulmate? Oof. If anybody can tell us what a soulmate is, I would love to hear that. How can you even have a soulmate when people change so much between the ages of 18 and 75? I mean, you go through like literally different lifetimes. When I was 24, I was different than I am today. And then I was 30, 32, 34. We're all changed. So how could there even be a soulmate? When the judge kicks you out of your own house, do you still have to pay everything? I didn't. But a lot of guys do. I had to pay my expenses and she had to pay her expenses. Even housing expenses. A lot of guys have to pay both the house and their apartment. Depends on the judge and your lawyer. I don't know too many women at my age are incredibly kind, too kind if you know what I mean. Yep. How old are you, Kurt? I have a married female friend at work who gives me a lot of affection. I know she is fond of me, but I know it's a road to nowhere. Take a step back, Chris. Never dip the pen in the company ink. You will regret it. Just know that if she finds you, is she fond of you? I'm sure there's others that are as well. There is the lover that is in your presence, and then when they are not with you, the not with you girl is the real person. Ooh, Mysterio lays it down at Chinatown. I would agree with you for that 98%. I would agree with you 100%. Why? Because I've experienced those girls where I've been the one where she's calling later at night. A bloke from your day song. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. Is that Foreigner? I want to know what I want you to show me. I think that's Foreigner. Never was into Foreigner. With women, indifference makes the difference. Very well said, Chris Keller. Indifference maintains the mystery for the 98%. The 1% to 2%, the women that I know, the women that frequent this channel that actually stand by their man, they are in love with the idea of they respect and honor that man. That's 1% to 2% of them. But for the 98%, indifference makes the difference. Well said, brother. Gynocentric value drives modern music to overvalue their importance over yours. They have to keep the money flowing. Is it any coincidence that the woman is on the pedestal in this world? Well, at least in the West. Money, billions and trillions of money are made from the media. I mean, look at that. There's that new series called F-Boy, where women are trying to determine if it's a nice guy or a Chad and Tyrone. Look at the money they're making off Sex Life, that Netflix show, and all of the other rom-coms and all that crap. It is a gigantic machine of money. John Boston in the house. Pulled out Rush today, didn't you? Playing the bass. Good to have you, brother. Pedo Biden. Yes, Ubermensch in the house. Good to have you. Potato Joe's butt Ben White. Is he even real? I mean, seriously, does the guy even exist? That's what I want to know. Why does a man get down on one knee to the woman? I thought the man was the prize. Huh? Programming. Guys, it goes to programming. Programming, you know what's funny? Everyone talks about we're going to have a third World War, there's going to be a reset, and all women are going to get in line. Oh, they'll get in line for 6 to 12, 18, 24 months. And then remember, the programming's still within them. The programming before the Great Reset is still there. It's going to take generations and generations. Where the grandmothers, it's like now, the grandmothers of my grandmother would probably say, don't marry in today's world. But she's no longer on this earth. And now the grandmothers in 50 years are going to be saying, when I was your age, I was twerking, I had so much attention. And the young grandkids in the next 60 years won't even understand what they're talking about if there's a Great Reset. But it's all programming. Outside of the physical and the kids, how was conversations with your ex? Interesting and laughs? We had some good times. But we did not have the same likes or interests, except eating Thai and Indian food. That's it. Just on Facebook, where a friend of mine that is over 6 foot has the tats and has the abs, and the girl he was dating still left him. Ooh. Just shows even people like him aren't enough for women today. Well, it sounds like Tommy Lee when he was married to Heather Locklear. Or who was he married to? Pam Anderson. Didn't she leave him? It doesn't matter who you are. Once the boredom sets in, or the protection or the provisioning stops, or you become a nice guy or wimpy, or become you share, oh my gosh, an emotion, that's when they leave. Or she just wanted a bigger, better deal. Female nature, Ben, female nature. Timmy Kramer often wondered, will traditional woman make a comeback in the future? Traditional woman making a comeback in the future for 300 Trebek? I'm going to go, no. What's up, Rad? Outside of sex, I'm finding little reason for a relationship with women. I've dated dark minds. Well, what do they bring to the table is what I would ask you. What are they doing for you? What are the actions? That's it. Do they cook for you? Do they clean your room? Do they take you out? Do they scratch your back? Do they stand by you? Do they respect you? Those are the things you got to realize, guys. If a woman's actions don't match her words, follow her actions. Actions, not words. Mysterio, you seem to speak very well, great diction. Have you taken Toastmasters? No. I just feel like I got something to share because I have experience, Mysterio, and so do you. Freddy Krueger, that's what you call post-nut clarity, and when it sets in, you want to leave like in the night. Post-nut clarity, Coach Greg Adams talks about it. Young exotic sugar baby who looks like vanity ran off with an 8-figure CEO. And then she'll monkey branch to somebody else, Jawara. A soulmate is one-nightish, period. Well said. Well said, Remain Bachelor. Well said. Spike in the house, good to see you. Mysterio, sex is preferable with a soulmate, not a cellmate. Ooh. Lays it down to Chinatown. Was she ever telling you she was in love with you? The sugar baby, hell no. Hey, Rad, I'm trying to follow your 4 to 6 week dating rule. Do you ghost them or tell them not looking for anything serious? Find it hard to do sometimes. Well, has the dopamine worn off for you? I wouldn't ghost them. I would just be less in contact. That's all. Don't block them or any of that crap. Just, hey, I'm busy. Simple as that. Author 7 books. I can imagine if they would like and they were in love with you. Jawara and the Sugar Babies. Hey, Rad, soulmate. One night, just don't fall for it. Jay Lee's in the house. Good to see you, brother. It was Foreigner, right? All right. ZZ Top, AC/DC, CCR Zeppelin come off as Red Pill. I basically hard rock metal gears to Red Pill than pop music. I think ZZ Top, yeah. ZZ Top, AC/DC. I think you're right. If she is not willing to show you her phone without any hesitation, run, guys. Yep. But I wouldn't even want to see what's in the phone. All the texting could screw you all up big time. You can't build relationship credit with women, or what we call an emotional bank account. No matter what you buy or do, it's all about what have you done for them lately. No, it's what have you done for them now. Well said, Dark Minds. Sex Sells in Hollywood. Reading the book The Manipulated Man by Esther VR. Absolute incredible read, even though 50 years old. Highly recommended. I've read it, Jorn. Good to have you in the house, brother. Great book. A girl I know is 18 and average looking, is seeing loads of guys. She's embracing the salami subway. She has a season pass on the salami subway. Jerron Markel, where you been, brother? Good to see you all the way from New York. Hope you're doing well in your acting. And what acting have you been doing lately? Commercials, TV, or movies? Is there any way to secure a woman? They keep running off. No! 98% of them are not recommended. 1 to 2%, yeah. The Lisa Smiths, the Victorias, sure. But they're difficult to find. Yo, I'm laying on way to Pizza Hut, pick up pizza and relax for the rest of the night. Tech and Gadgets. Good for you, man. My favorite pizza, pepperoni and pineapple. Pizza for 300 Trebek. Even Chad has trouble with women. All guys, if you don't understand women, have trouble. It doesn't matter if you're Chad or Tyrone. Chad and Tyrone just don't get emotionally involved. They hit and quit. And until they fall for, I know a lot of them probably can run that for a while, and then eventually they want to settle down. Then they typically knock one up. I think Hooderites are in the 2% of women that will respectfully defer to their man. You know what's funny you say? I've been to a Hooderite colony in Alberta. But you're right. That's a throwback to the past, Mysterio. They drink hoot goo. They drink that huckleberry wine. I just remembered you were going live at 3. Yeah. To add to my comment about my friend who was a former sheriff's deputy and now in the Army, Mr. Drummerlife, you'd think a woman would be attracted to his manly, masculine protection, job, career. A lot of women love men in uniform. Again, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Trusting her words can destroy you. Her words can also destroy you through false accusations. Well said, Jason. Men today tend to be guilty until proven innocent. Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about. Trusting her words versus her actions can destroy you. Oh, I would never do that to you. I would make sure you had 50-50 custody. I wouldn't make you give me alimony. I wouldn't call the authorities to say that and make something up. I'd never do. I'm not like those women. Yeah. Shout out to you, brother. I always love the SNL Trebek Jeopardy. Never ever listen to what a female says. Watch her body language. It never lies. Whenever I'm around any female, her body language exposes everything about her. Absolute facts. Jerome Markel. And you're also an actor, so I would be curious from your standpoint. Can you pick out real quickly if they're acting or not? From your experience as an actor, what do you do for a living? Rad, I'm in sales. I sell to healthcare or hospitals. Been doing that for a couple decades. Why do women give choosing signals? Can't they just ask a guy out? Of course not. Well, it goes against the dynamic, right? That would be a masculine thing, would to ask a man out. And number two, it's just part of intersexual dynamics. It's just the mating game. If you're a strong man and you see some cool signals that she's into you, we'll go approach. But if a woman typically approaches, depends on the woman, but the 98% of them, I would be a little skeptical. At the rate females are going, they might as well text themselves, "Good morning, beautiful," and spank their own ass. You know, there are texting applications now that are fake texting. I'm sure some of them are doing it. John Boston, rad, update on my single surgeon simp friend. He bought a home on a lake with a single mom, and he left his wife less than a year ago. She picked where to buy the house. I quit, and I can't help. That's going to be in my chapter. You can't fix stupid, John. And I'm going to have you do the introduction to that chapter. Jeez Louise, idiot. All her secrets is in her phone. There are used up leftovers. Truth, I don't doubt that. Don't try and change a woman. If she's always on social media, walk away. I've always said that. I think that's my number one red flag, Chris. The addiction to social media tells you everything. Haven't been doing anything but investing due to this BS. Now NYC has this mandate of key to New York. Oh, yes. Saw that on the news. My ex-wife, her phone was invisible. I knew she had one, but never saw it. When I would see her using it and would go up to her, she would put the phone in her body and hide the screen. That phone tells them everything. That's all you got to know. Brad, the general rule is don't date single moms, damaged goods, kids, financial issues, and other drama. Everything else is unattainable. Suggestions. Work on yourself. If one pops in your orbit, entertain. There's always Mustang Ranch if you need that. But you're right, single mothers make up a majority of women in their, especially later years. There's not a lot of single women that don't have kids. So it's either younger gals, Mustang Ranch, or just work on yourself until one pops in. Don't seek them. David Cummings in the house. Women only communicate to manipulate. Remember that, fellas. Ooh. Women only communicate to manipulate to get what they want. Hey, Rad, my take 98.9 are just varied shades of 3 or 4s. Give them the right context and the right option. They will pay that coin between their legs, period. There's a 1 to 2% that I don't fall in that category, but I agree with you 100%. 304s for 300 Trebek. Alimony should only be if the woman can't work and stayed home and the man was okay with that. I would agree with that. Sure. If she had no skills and raised 6 kids and the guy decided to leave, yeah, I think you're right. And that's how it used to be. Not women working today. They even get more rewarded to leave their effing husband. BS. Sound engineers in the house. Good to have you, brother. Hopefully it's not too late in your neck of the woods. Good to have you as well. What up? A woman's words are a woman's deadly weapons, period. Matt Downer in the house, coming off his trail hike with Gorp. I would agree. Women's actions are what you need to look for, not the words. Don't believe what they say. You know what? Even my therapist was a woman. She told me, She had called me during our retarded counseling and said, "Don't believe anything she says, only what she does." She told me that. A woman giving me the cheat code. Rad, that sounds like my ex. She said she wasn't going anywhere yet refused to come to doctors with me, but was talking to attorneys behind my back. That's what mine did. Oh, I'm gonna go see my sister. Oh yeah, you know where she was? Her sister probably went with her to the attorney. Most women become ungrateful of their man at some point in the relationship. I've seen it with my own mother and father, made a whole life for her. Dark Minds lays it down to Chinatown. That's wisdom right there. How is it that women like Barbara Eden and Joan Collins still look good at 80, something going to their 90s? While there are women that are younger that look like grannies. You know, good question. I think back then the validation and attention wasn't what they were, you know, it was probably different. I think women that have a massive attention and validation appetite today age very quickly because they have to medicate themselves if they don't get it, whether that's home medication of alcohol or, you know, head meds or what have you. So who knows? Good. I think that's a great question. Men do all the work in dating and courting. Absolutely. Planning, asking, paying, horseshit. I say no. Jimmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, lays it down at Chinatown. MGTOW Cowboy from Chicago. Check out his channel as well. Good stuff. John Markel. Girls are all actors. They sell purity, innocence, and celibacy. They always want the guy to think they are the exception. Lies. However, there are those girls who choose me and I just decline. Ooh, the takeaway. The takeaway by Jerome Markel. When you say no, they want you even more. Learn that cheat code, guys. 99% of wives get big and will never be able to fit in their wedding dress again. You might be right. You might be right. Why do women on dating app look so trashy? Because men have allowed them to look like that. And because remember, all women are princesses, 98% of them. They can look exactly however they want, be however they want, talk however they want, and they're going to be treated like a princess that they are. Hogwash. Hogwash. Work on yourself, number one. Women always want kids. Very few of them don't want them. Mysterio. Absolutely. Jerome, mom, masters of manipulation. A lot of manipulation in my marriage. What's up, successful endeavors? Shout out to the gang. She'll never be able to fit in that sexy little dress she wore at 18. Mine was much thinner and younger and fertile, but she didn't really gain. She probably gained 5 or 6 pounds or something like that. She still looks pretty decent. Rod the surgeon is 5'4", but when he stands on his wallet, he has a Chad and Tyrone. Cannot believe he's hanging out with a single mom and her 2 boys and 2 dogs. He's 58, she's 42. She's in it for the money, and he thinks she's in it for him. That's widow guy mentality. No female can beat up a guy physically, so they use verbal judo to take you down, and feelings. Why do you really want a kid? Genetic programming or for financial security? That's a good question to ask potential suitors. Can everyone in here say the city that you're in? Brooklyn, New York. Salt Lake City for me. What did you learn from people watching this week? I keep seeing men not challenging their women. Too much yes dear babble from the men placating the women. Lots of men walking behind their women. That's what I saw. In fact, last night, sitting in a local watering hole, and 2 women came in and ordered boxed wine and were going off on. One of them was married, and the other, and they looked like they must have been 60-year-old Karens, and they ordered boxed wine when there was actual bottles of wine. And I guarantee they went home to their cats. That's what we see, Mysterio. Rad, I've been monk for several years, but I really wanted to hear your response. Self-actualization is always the correct work on yourself. That's as simple as that. I'm not someone that says, put a woman in your life to be a man. If you want a woman in your life, great. If you don't want one, great. If you want to entertain them on a limited basis, great. But don't marry them, don't and don't get in these goofy long-term relationships where there's no value in it. And if you're in the best relationship you can have is yours, the one with yourself, where you're the operant power. Beautiful life from Laguna Beach in the house. Good to see you. Rad, my ex ruined her life and the kids. I feel bad for my kids. No woman can raise kids after they are toddlers. Women can't raise boys as well in their teenager. Very difficult. They need a man. Modern single women are a freaking mess. Lisa Smith, they can't even roll the trash can to the curb, let alone use it. Brad, I swear some in the baby boomer generation are partly to blame. I would agree with that. Men are, let's be real, men basically caused everything to go this way. We simped. We pedestalized. We allowed laws to be changed. Most of the attorneys and judges are men. And eventually it's going to backfire. It's backfiring now. People are deciding that marriage and cohab is not worth it. Very, very few people, 1% to 2%, are worth it. And those are very hard to find. And even if you did find them, I wouldn't even marry them anyways. Unless you want to build something, a family, have children. Much love to you, Rad. I'm in the process of healing after an LTR, Big Vegas. That's right, brother. I feel like LTR marriages can lead to a lot of doom and gloom. Yes, you did. You're the one that emailed me. Hang in there, work on yourself, and know that female nature is female nature, and she exercised female nature. That's all you can do. And don't repeat the mistake again. Cheat code? No. Check. Funny. Lord Spawn in the house. I made it, but only a few minutes before leaving. Hey, you're always welcome, brother. Remember, you are the backup plan. She's always got someone she's throwing herself at. If you're not chasing excellence, you are most likely chasing your own distraction. Jay Lee. Great. Love it. You're absolutely right. Most females have never heard the word no. When you say that or repress a female sexuality, it is almost always met with contempt, personal attacks, and shaming language. Most, 98% of women, are still 5-year-olds with breasts, stamping their feet if they don't get what they want. But if a man tells them no, they respect the man, if and only if she was raised with a strong father. If she wasn't raised with a strong father, she ain't respecting him worth a crap. Again, another red flag. If you don't master your own biology, others will attempt to capitalize off your efforts. Well said. Well said. Phoenix in the house. DKSR 13827. Good to have you again. Male attention is like a drug to the modern woman. No man can satisfy her. She needs more wood for the fire. Well said. Successful all the way from Dallas. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas cheerleaders. Rad CJ said many of the women over 37 on dating sites are leftovers. He said they are always on those websites, and over 50, it's even worse. Yeah, get on a web. Just go and do some research this weekend and just see how many leftovers there are. It's ridiculous. The modern day landscape for dating is a shit show. I've met some gals off dating sites at one point. You have to know how to do it. But the majority, it's a waste of time for 99% of all men. And you have to understand the dynamics within it. 5-6 years ago, very different. Now, full of attention 304s. I learned about no at a very old age of 48. Now I say no to LTRs, to commitment and cohab, especially no to raising other men's kids. Ooh, that will pay financial derivatives, emotional derivatives, and dividends for the rest of your life. Remain bachelor. The expression, who wears the pants in the relationship? Women today compete against their husband for that pair of Levi's. Love it. You're right. There's always this tug of war. Like, come on. It's gender role specific. We're not equal. Equality is a word found in the dictionary. Walt Disney had to go about 300 banks to get a loan for his amusement park. He didn't give up, did he? Now, what's happened to Walt Disney now? It's turned into the biggest simp, alphabet suit, flag-waving, liberal cesspool of splashes and roller coasters. And I bet he's just rolling over in his grave. John Boston, all the way from Massachusetts. Here in Chicago, when walking, I increasingly see men pushing the baby stroller and the women henpegging. Or the women on the phone like this, right? They're all looking the whole time on their phone and doing their thing. Just because she brags about having a lot of guys doesn't mean she's high value. Remember, cheap items have many customers. Go to the dollar store, right? Go to the dollar store. When did you realize that liberals are PA? Pathetic? Liberalism is a mental disorder, Chris. That's all it is. You can't talk to them. You can't understand them. They use microaggression to try to and use their feelings to cover up facts. Facts still don't care about feelings. Placating the woman is programmed into us as kids. It needs to be purged from the crimson capsule. Again, deprogramming, right? Matt Downer, many headstrong women have failed us men. The best possible way I can think of is ignore it and them. For the majority of men, absolutely. It'll get them in trouble. You know, guys are very weak. A beautiful woman that is charming will knock a guy off his game, lickety split. Her leverage is sex. Our leverage is giving her attention and validation. Don't give it to her. Let her earn it. What does she bring to the table? I have a friend of mine, and she said when she hit 50, all the young guys started chasing her. Now that she's 60, she regrets marrying and having children. Of course. She wants what she can't have. Is she 60 going on 35? Single mothers aren't looking for love. They're looking for resources. Yes. Big John talked about that. I remember Paul Elam saying the word no is a MGTOW's most important word. I did a video on that. Use no to not even women, family members, bosses, neighbors that you're not down with what they want you to do. You know, if you don't feel like doing something, say no. That could be to anybody. Big Vegas, yeah, that was me that emailed you. You're the only man who truly helped me learn a lot about female nature. Definitely not going back to her. It's time to heal, move forward, focus on my purpose. Yes, sir, Reebok. We've all been there. You know, I've been there. John Boston's been there. Jimmy Kramer had dealt with ladies. We've all been there. And that's what you do. You just have to look back, let it be, and move forward and understand what you understand now. Experience is your currency. That's what it is now. Going forward, the experience you had with her is now your currency to have a better life. You need money to have a better life. Good for you, though. Death to Disney. I ain't ever going back. The happiest guy at Disney is the one leaving the park. New Jersey. That's where Freaky Jersey's in New Jersey. I believe men are the problem, though. We have incentivized women with the laws to break up their families. Men will also attack other men for calling out women for their unsavory behavior. I agree. Men caused it. Men caused the issues today. Men couldn't say no. How different life was, Dark Minds, 40, 50 years ago. No, let's go 50 to 70 years ago. How different women were. How different men were. How men were on purpose. In the last 60, 70 years, huge inventions and strides in humanity were built. Remain bachelor, I agree with you. Cannot believe how many simp men will raise another man's kids. Watching the Brady Bunch as a kid, I thought Mike Brady was a loser raising others' kids. He was definitely getting some tail out of Florence Henderson. Or was that Greg Brady, the older boy? These abundant women believe that they top shelf and deserve the top 10% and can't understand why they aren't getting them. I think they think they deserve the top 1%. But you're right. Chick I know is married, 31 with 2 kids. I know she's using me for validation. There's no other logical reason why she wants to lure me in. Validation, attention, and potential resources. But you're right, 31 with 2 kids. A lot of guys will not even approach that. Rick Lou, these comments are right on. I would agree with you. What is worse, pedos or trans? Same. They're both. Ugh. Don't even get me started. My biggest mistake I made was trusting her fully and believing she loved me the way I loved her. You don't know her till you break up. Shiesty demon. Where are you from, Shiesty? I would agree with that statement. It's time to demand, we demand only virgin women. I truly wish you good luck finding one. There's millions of born-again virgins. But yeah, what do they say? No hymen, no diamond. Men have to not only stop enabling women, but also simps remain bachelor. I would agree. Rad, did you see the Transformer yelling at the Vietnam vet in free? Yes, saw that last night. Oh, we need to buy some stuff from his store, that Star Wars store. He laid it down in Chinatown. That used microaggression and shaming tactics is what it used. It, or as I like to say, shim, she, him. Would you date? No, absolutely not. Rad, years ago, I did an entire series on validation vampires. It's even worse now than 5 years ago. I would agree. It's only getting worse. The attention and validation machine has only gotten disgustingly worse. Remain bachelor. I want to date a woman with young kids like my simp doc friend. Nope, you're never going to be first. Just like the stock market, the dating market needs an effing correction. Already, slurs are at all-time high, I swear. And you know what? We talk about that. We don't know what's going to happen. Liberalism is in Michael Savage. Love Mr. Savage. Hell effing no. That was female behavior before it chose to be female. Yep. No, no way. I have seen a couple ladies just, on news releases over 10 years. I thought they were women. I found out they were trans. It made me sick. Big Vegas, make a weekly plan, then execute it. Keep doing that, and your focus will come to reality. You have to write it down, 100%. And Big Vegas needs to write his list down, pros and cons, and he needs to understand fantasy versus reality. We tend to fantasize about women that do us wrong and say that we were the problem. Write the list down. I guarantee 5-1 cons to pros. She's 60 and a better body. Most 35-year-old girls, though. Her face shows her age, aging like sour milk and stale Oreos. Sour milk for 300 Trebek. I would stay far, far away from that simp friend. He is committing a major evil. Or John's just getting a wonderful show of what truly we are talking about with Red Pill. Guys that don't get it, even at 58. They don't get it. They're still believing in that 4-letter word. What's your opinion on dating a conservative woman with kids who is a widow? I think that's different. I think a widow, depending on what happened, she didn't choose to leave the relationship. Hopefully she was a respecter and honored her husband. I would probably take her. Again, if she has kids, it's going to be very difficult to ever be first in her life. But, see where it goes. But I'd be tread cautiously. I ask women hard questions often like, when was the last time you made a man a home-cooked meal? It always makes them pissed. Most women can't cook anymore. Right, Timmy? Would you loan your sister money? I did. About 15 years ago. And she would pay me back. She was going to pay me at all. She actually would pay me back like every week, or once a month. And then it was her birthday. It was like $400. And I said, for your birthday, your debt's wiped off. She actually it didn't matter. I mean, I didn't need the money, but it was like, she was actually paying me $10, $15 a year. I mean, she was actually, fulfilling her obligation back to me. But most, no. I cannot stand the simp enforcers who get involved with married women while they are going through divorce. Weakest men I have seen, they think they are the savior, and I laugh. They need their asses kicked. Right, John? All females are not gold diggers, just the attractive ones. Also, there wouldn't be gold diggers if there wasn't gold givers. Ooh. Gold diggers if there wasn't gold givers for 300 Trebek. Love it, Jaron. I'm going to design a salami Subway t-shirt. A lot of season ticket holders for the salami Subway, Chris. You should try ghosting. Stay in the gray and become stoic. Work on yourself, folks. Do what Matt Downer does. Gets out. Death to white knights. They save the trollops then use the beta tribe to come against the truth. They protect with the sword, but that sword will kill them as well. Are liberals all mentally ill? I would say every single one of them have a mental disorder, and Lisa Smith would agree with me. Ms. Nevada is a transformer. Pretty bad when that happens. I just love, you know what? Here's the great thing about this whole transformer thing. I love it. You know why? It's because they allowed it. The feminist agenda, the simps, the liberals have allowed it. Now they don't want it. Remember, they're only equal till they're not. There's going to be lawsuits left, and I'm just watching the shit show. I love it. A man wins Miss Nevada. A man wins whatever. Is in the Olympics. It's funny. It's really, they wanted this whole inclusion. They wanted liberalism to expand and allow these gender dysphoric people to be part of this world. And now they don't want them involved. I love it from a complete social, cultural shit show. You wait. People are pissed now. Now they don't want them playing in women's leagues. Yeah, write that down. I'll start my list tomorrow. It should definitely just write it down and be generous on both sides. Generous on the good, generous on the bad. And read that list, and that's what I did. That's how you get over it. Females want fried ice. Does that exist? My criteria is this: to take seriously single women, no kids. When I ask her out, there better be some enthusiasm. It's up to the woman to make me into her boyfriend, not making her the girlfriend. Well, that's basically saying, Mysterio, you are the prize. Well said. Men who pretend to be women deserve what they get when they get exposed by the guy who was deceived. They reap what they sow. Great biblical verse there, Lisa. And I agree with that statement. I saw this channel, Toronto Unicorn. She's a chubby chick who goes to swinger clubs. Buddy of mine sent me several links to, oh my gosh. Does it ever end? Does it ever end? Getting simp's gonna simp, 304 is gonna 304, and that's gonna be that's gonna continue to go on, man. That's why put yourself first. Put your purpose as the highest priority. Your purpose should be your girlfriend. What's the best way to prevent a female from flaking? Don't communicate. I'm seeing men walking behind, and set down boundaries. I'm seeing men walking behind their woman. It is disrespectful. Sam T in the house. Yes, sirree, Bob. Yes, sirree, Bob. Rad, have you and your sons gone to any concerts together? What bands are the kids into? Just local stuff. My kids my middle boy he's into Nirvana and stuff like that, and some rap. My youngest, he likes my music. He likes rap as well. Eventually they'll come around. Call it what you will, Baloney Pony, the CC, the Salami Subway. It's all the same, right? Lots of ticket holders. Season ticket holders. Let's be Black Knights. Pillage their towns and take what's ours. And I'm thinking with this whole mandate to get the poke, people are going to say no. And it's going to cause some fists to fly and potentially other things to raise. Men who mess with married chicks, CJ was saying, can get themselves erased. I would agree. Don't mess around with ever a married chick. That simpy man could blow a gasket and blow other things, which has little metal fuselages. There's a story about one of these female inmates that has become pregnant from a transgender since they put men in. Oh, jeez. How does it get any worse? The leftist turfs definitely eat their own. Yes, they do. All men have to be very careful with the trans. No need to drink heavy when you're scoping out chicks at the bad. Just be very careful. Be very careful. Trans have been allowed in Olympics since 2004. This year was the first time it was open to have a trans competing. Then there's also that the gay NFL player. Which, I mean, the guy came out, plays for the Raiders. Who cares? Didn't somebody come out 10 years ago and played, what was his name, Michael Sams or something? But whatever. Transformers is clown. The guy in Seattle was hilarious when he said, you have a D, you are not a woman. Didn't he ask her twice? Didn't he ask him twice? That's none of your business. Do you think there's ever going to be a trans NFL player? A guy that turns into a woman that still maintains his that's probably the next. I'm gonna predict something. That's gonna be the next within the next 5 years. You're gonna see someone turn NFL, hockey, or something. I saw the Bronies documentary. It made me sick to my stomach because of what they look like. I'm telling you, I didn't think it was real. It is real. The Bronies. This is what we have to look forward to. Guys that watch My Little Pony, they're in the military, they're all sorts. It's disgusting, isn't it, Matt? Did you see the trans weightlifter in the Olympics failed all her lifts on purpose? It was a total publicity stunt to show trans have no advantage. Of course. Of course I did, Chris. Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, walked in front of the veggie president. See you later, Matt. Rad, check out Toronto Unicorn. I will. Chick can't get a date, so she goes to swinger clubs. There are chubby chasers out there. Chubby chasers for 300 Trebek. 40 years women on Bumble. 40-year-old women on Bumble want marriage and kids. Yes, they do. They believe in the Disney story, Dark Minds. Men are waking up. These women separate you from friends. Everything that you love, and then complain that you're not the man that they fell in love with. Isn't it funny? They seek love, but then erase the love that they get. Brad, let these hysterical people destroy themselves. Interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Napoleon Bonaparte. I would agree, Remain Bachelor. The Olympics is a distraction of what's really going on. We're going to see another lockdown, guys. Never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Love it. Napoleon Bonaparte. I don't think I'll ever love a woman again. I don't want to ever feel that pain again. Well, that's what most guys do. They realize, what did love get us? What is love? You begin to question everything through Red Pill. Why don't girls want nice guys when they are in their 20s? Is it the validation of the CC they can't turn down? It's all attention and validation in those years, my friend. And they get a lot of it. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Read that a few times. How much sleep do you think the average man really needs? 6 to 7 hours. Heading out golfing the first 110 heat with my brother. See you later, brother. Men first. Men first. Caitlyn Jenner should run for president. He will be the first female president. Yes, sir, Bob. The Transformer was with a woman who looked like a woman and looked like women. Not a freak show, but who knows? I don't know trans people and don't want to. Nor do I. Actually, I do know one. Love is a word used most often, but often used, but not often used correctly. Love is just a 4-letter word meant to pacify the male and female sexes into a potential bond of some sort. I have a hard time believing what it is. Beautiful life. Treat your partner like you treat a stranger. We don't have the right to take out life's frustrations on each other. Bad day, go for a walk. This is why relationships fail. Well said, beautiful life. Well said. Go for a walk. Treat people with kindness. Supposedly, most people didn't receive that memo, right? Brad, she's not chubby. She's thick. She's fluffy. She's curvy. Feminists are angry because they realize men are better at being women than women. Ooh, sure. Sure. Biggs Ma. Where are you from, Biggs Ma? Hey, bro, shouldn't we try to find a balance instead of just completely abandoning the idea of women? Now, I don't abandon the idea of women. I'm not saying women should be abandoned. I'm saying understand female nature. Understand our brains are different and understand what you're getting into. Navigate life how you want to by putting yourself on purpose, by putting your purpose as your girlfriend, or purpose as your boyfriend if you're a dude, if you're a chick, and go from there. And allow the women to come through your life that you allow. And if you open the gate to them, you decide how far they go into your castle. That's all. I'm not a monk. I'm not advocating to get married or cohabitating or in these goofy long-term relationships where there's no value. I'm telling you, get involved in yourself first and foremost. And if a woman pops in, entertain her the way you want to entertain her. Don't abandon the idea. But I would abandon the idea of thinking the Disney story is real. That is an illusion. Protect yourself at all costs. Better Bruce be trans than Lee Majors. I cannot stomach that. Oh, the $6 million man. I've got ivermectin and Plaquenil, no Fauci for me. Good for you, brother. Stay away from that crap. Direct your anger in the right direction, not out on the partner. Beautiful life, laying it down at Chinatown. I would agree. Move energy. Why there's no body positive movement for men? BBM, big, beautiful man. Because women get all the attention. Chris, that's where feminism has lied to women, promising that they can have it all like a Barbie doll. Have it all like a Barbie doll. Reality is what they wait too long to settle down, and they lose their sexual marketplace value. Truth. Calgary, Alberta. Great. Spent a lot of time in Medicine Hat, Raymond, Cardston, Lethbridge, been to the Calgary Stampede. I love me some Mr. Big and Coffee Crisp and ketchup potato chips. Invest in oneself primarily. Yes, sirree, Bob. Why do females say partner instead of my boyfriend, my husband? That's a feminist word. Yes, it is. It's an equal word. It means equality, Jerome. Big, beautiful man. I have to use that. BBM. We got to start using that, guys. Bruce Jenner is considered to be the most beautiful woman of the century. The most beautiful man, dressed in a costume of a woman. Not a man, not a woman, but a man. What qualities do you think I should be looking for in a chick? Look for a woman that loves her father. That would be the number one green flag. If she loves, honors, and respects her father, that is what she would probably do for you. And she wouldn't be get tattooed, get knocked up, and being a 304. Rad, I hope they prove Trump won. We know he won. That would be amazing. It'd be amazing. Just like Jesse Lee Peterson talks about. It's amazing. I'm all about no fap and semen retention, more energy and nutrients. You lose 4 pints of blood jacking off. Ooh, I did not know that. I think there's value in retaining your seed. The more I grow older, the less I see women as desirable for the long haul romantically. It's society's dirty little... Well, relationships typically should have been for young 20-year-old women, 25-year-old men to create a family. Getting involved in relationships later in life seems to go against most biology. A lot of people get involved for loneliness issues. 1% to 2% work. Tread lightly. I've been doing this for a while. I just can't edit my way out of a wet paper bag. Big, beautiful man, meat. Agree with Mysterio. As I get older, women lose their luster. Well, I think you got to realize, I mean, at the end of the day, what does a woman bring to the table that she didn't bring to the table? Just go back to your 22-year-old self. What did you look at a woman as? You looked at her as a potential part of wife and mother of your kids to build a family. As you get in your 40s and 50s, what does a woman bring to the table besides take out the physical? What does she bring to the table? That's what you have to ask yourself. What does she do for you that you would allow yourself to settle down with someone? When you know the potential of it not working is gigantic. You have to ask yourself that question. Shimps will see us as toxic and not a lover of women. Black Phillip, yes sir, Bob Rick. They can smell a man who's on semen retention. I don't disagree with that at all. If you take away the sexual attraction of the woman and imagine her as a fat, long-haired, whiny male, what position would you give her then? You wouldn't. A woman's place is below the weakest males. Women should stand by their men and honor their men. They are the co-pilot, not the pilot. And women do not want to be the pilot. Unbeknownst to this feminist thinking, they want a strong, respectful man that respects the honor of her. And men want an honorable woman that respects the honor and dignity of the man. His place in society, which is to protect and provide. Whereas we want that woman to be nurturing, loving, affectionate, and do nice things. It's a very simple formula. Give unto a man everything that you can give, your heart, your affection, your honor, your respect. He will give you 10 times everything in return, unless he's a total douchebag that is massively screwed up because he's into massive issues with childhood and crap like that. I just laid it down in Chinatown. I don't even have to go buy a book. I just told you what to do. Will Trump be reelected? I sure as hell hope he gets reelected. We are in a shit show without Trump. So just smash and dash? Well, smash and dash, depending on the person, would be a 98%er. A 1 to 2%er, I would say see where it goes. But avoid marriage and cohabit at all costs. And I think that a long-term relationship has a very high chance of falling apart. At 50, to me, they just seem like chatterboxes and attitudes holding their SMV hostage until they lose it. Correct? Hey, Rad, did you see the story CNN ran about the single mother of 3? She was able to get $250K. Yes, I did. Is that where we're going as a society? Allowing bad decisions, rewarding, compensating bad decisions? That's where we're going, guys. That's why we have to say no. Trump is the great white hope, according to Jesse Lee Peterson. And he was a liberal at one point. And I think he was raised by a single mother. How do you handle Republicans being called racist, sexist, homophobic? You know, I just say it's microaggression. They use their feelings over facts. It's not, what did Candace Owens say? Talking about the trans person said, it's not bigotry, it's biology. It's not hating you, it's biology. You are not, you who decide to dress as a woman are not biological a woman. I will not look at you as a woman. You are a man. Check out Nadia New York. She's cool too. Or what is her? I'll put her them. She is rad. Look at her stuff. She does these little 2-minute bits. Okay. But yeah, disgusting. Here's a question for the females in here, and I want them to answer. If you don't have a vagina, how would you get a man past that? Yes, Trump is our great white hope, says Joan. Change the word love to like, be better to better understand it. Or lust. Successful endeavors, Joan, a few of these PUAs are sponsored by legal firms. They sell you their program, advice, and soap. You'll need that legal firm. You take their advice 100%. Smash the like button. Thank you, brother. This is the guy. Check this chick out. New York Nadia. YouTube her. She just lays it down in China. If you like the Seattle Transformer, John, you'll love New York Nadia. She goes off on Biden, libs. She's a female, BLM, you name it. My ex, her value was to be a mother and raise kids, not to run to attorneys and strive hard to be a single mom. What man will want a 50-plus woman with kids? No man. Because, John, you are controlling and abusive, and you are power hungry, and you are controlling. I said the same thing. You're controlling and abusive. She just literally made her bed, John. Just watch the shit show as you kill it in life. Females are forever fighting their biology and nature, 100%. Some of these PUAs are scum of the earth. They're selling you a program, guy. Listen, there's no, I don't believe in monetizing any of this crap. If I'm going to monetize something, I'll make a Spanish channel on how to teach people how to speak Spanish or English, to teach rich Colombian executives how to speak English, because I can speak very well Spanish. But other than that, we share experiences. The experiences that I see from my bros, the guys in the forum, this is what we share. This is how we get through life. We help Big Vegas. We help the Chris Kellers. We help the guys that need it because we've been through it. We don't want to see anybody be destroyed. Nadia New York lives here and I like her. Isn't she great? Check her out, guys. I'm plugging her channel. She's just blown up lately because she does these like little TikToks that just destroy liberals. Total fan. Women need to be feminine, friendly, and fit. The 3 Fs, according to Kevin Samuels. I agree with that 100%. Kids weren't hers. It was her boyfriend's kids from another relationship. Crocodile tears got her $250. Can you imagine if that was a man? Oh, he'd be shamed forever. Now he'd be kicked out to the curb, Joshua. Good to have you in the group. A lot of these men are women in a man's body. Deadly combination, Sam T. They're simps. They're simps in women's costumes. Think about that. Simps. Guys that run off their emotion. Guys that are snowflakes. Guys that use aggression. Guys raised by single mothers. There's no man. There is no strong. If you were raised by a strong man, there's no way in hell you would don a female costume. Trust but verify, says Park Ridge. Good to have you. I would agree. Ed Lear Goo, rad life for me. A curveball. My own daughter made me change my mind. I decided to go down with the ship instead of abandoning it. She's already indoctrinated with my baby mother. How'd she make you change your mind, Ed? Rad, the only one not collecting or soliciting funds. Hell no. Never will. In fact, I will buy each of you a beer. All of the categories on the power and control wheel is what these 50-year-olds will accuse you of. You're controlling. You're a power-hungry man. You're toxic. Toxic Mel for 200 Trebek. Winter is coming. Yes, it is, according to Kevin Samuels. Shit is going to hit the fans, guys. Be prepared. Have your mind right here. That's where you focus. Your purpose should be your girlfriend. Put all your love and intimacy in your purpose and watch what happens. Is it possible Biden is a trans? I don't know what the hell he is. I don't even know if he exists. We live in idiocracy. It's clown world. It's clown world. At what age do women fall apart? Depends. 30 years ago, I would say late 30s, early 40s. Before all this crap, now the young gals today, I've seen 24-year-olds that look like they're 35. I've seen 30-year-olds look like they're 45. The amount of distractions we have through technology, through attention validation loops, through the phone has destroyed you physically. That's what's going on. You should write a book on that, Joara. I have plenty of MREs on standby. And you're fit, so you're going to make it. Winter is already here, Mr. Samuels. He hasn't been following the weather of these blockheads. I think he's just allowing it to slowly marinate in people's minds. Rad, I have seen many, many women in court say their husbands were verbally abusive. I said no, and that was abusive. Oh, that sounds like you and I have the exact same wife. I was mentally and emotionally abusive and controlling. No, I just said no to stupidity and no to ridiculous requests of potential financial destruction. That's what I did. I put together a very nice game plan so that if the family and marriage was intact, we could go on vacations and afford a house and have decent meals and have clothes and medical care and what have you, and retirement. But that wasn't good enough because I was controlling. Ozzy Osbourne sounds even better than Mr. JB. What's he hiding Joe Biden? Now, I don't try to be too political, but I'm not very happy with his administration. I was happier for Mr. Trump. Psychologically abusive. Live the bachelor lifestyle. It's the best lifestyle known to man, and he's a threat to this system. Truth, truth, truth. Guys, remember, trust her actions, not her words, and ask her what she brings to the table. 98% cannot bring anything but physical. I wouldn't trust them. Trust can destroy you. Let's rebel against defeat. Chase excellence, masculinity, men first. I'm out.